Hello and welcome to the Magic of Boots. Today's episode, we've been absent for a while. Thanks to my absence, and Sudipta was busy as well. But yeah, I was away for a month, and then we couldn't meet. But we have seen a lot of games. I have Sudipta with me. Sudipta, how are you?
So far, how am I?
Yeah. So. Uh, There are a lot to cover. Where you wanna go?
I think we pick it up from the winter transfer window,
Right.
and like gradually, we let's see how it
Let,
goes
let's see.
because
Let's see.
so many matches actually
So
happened,
many
and
incidents, events, matches. Uh,
yeah, so many things like happened,
yeah.
and also there were, yeah, I don't know like where to start. There
Okay.
were few derbies there.
Yeah. Let's focus on the winter transfer window that just finished in January. What, according to you, were the top transfers?
Well, we just watched the Manchester City match.
Hmm.
These
Manchester
two
City versus
players,
Tottenham. Yeah.
yeah, of course, Spurs. They played brilliantly. Actually, um, we we just like we were just talking like the last half. They probably took four or five shots, and all were on target actually. So it's quite brilliant against Manchester City.
No, I
And
agree. I agree. So from look of it, it seems like you want to start where Tottenham Hotspur
yeah,
went.
I want to start with Spurs because their transfer, the both transfers, like they made it probably at the on the deadline or the day before deadline or around that time actually. Um,
How do you make of
this
their transfers? First of all, they have let four players go on loan, and then
yeah
two players came from Juventus.
yeah.
How do you see that?
I saw actually before he transferred to Spurs. I saw the matches because Chiesa were injured at the time, and I watched few matches, and this guy Kulosowski,
Kulusevski, yeah.
yeah, Kulosowski, he were uh, I don't know, like he has this flair inside him, as you can see. And but the thing is that only he like this guy has like physical fitness, space, like trying to take on defenders. And only thing he is missing is like he doesn't know when to let go of the ball or when to make this like a calculative pass. But it's okay because he's not that experienced. And that's what it makes actually interesting, because there were rumors. Spurs were going for um what's his name, Traore,
Adama Traore,
because
yes.
yeah, Adama Traore, because they wanted to exploit these wings, and this wing back should be, he should be one of these wingers, or I don't know, like on the top three, if he's played like if Conte plays like 3-4-3, he would be one of these top three. So like he could have actually fit in both positions because of his physicality. And there were rumors, but Conte has this. I don't know. This guy is like really calculative, and probably he noticed Kulosowski last season, or probably this season's matches. And it's a quite impactful transfer because um, Son and
Lucas Moura.
Hurricane,
Mhm.
yeah, they actually had this duo in him. And lately Hurricane is like missing his, like goal scoring shoes, except for this match actually. um the thing is that like he wanted some, like some sort of physicality,
Mhm.
like who can actually push back this wing backs and like exploit this space between the wing backs and the center backs and stuff like this. And so far Kulosowski like he's getting there, like one of the top players, like in his position.
Okay. So, by the look of it, you actually very liked Kulusevski in the buying it, and the good thing about Kulusevski for me is fairly young, very young actually, and
He doesn't look so like I
mhm,
thought like probably this guy was sitting in the bench for a while, and I saw like his profile and I was surprised
yeah,
actually. I haven't seen.
yeah,
He doesn't look.
he's young. He looks to have a lot of skill in terms of dribbling. Sometimes he overdoes it, and with experience, hopefully it comes that when to release the ball and when to pass. The other transfer is done is Bentancur from Juventus. How do you see that?
Well, I don't know. Like it at first, it seems like an he would be an utility guy, but kind of like he's supporting because like today in the match, it felt like whoever like sometimes gave away. Like he sometimes like were completely out of the position. But this guy Bentancur is like I I don't like him like personally, but the thing is that like he doesn't lose positions so far. But only problem is that like the pace, he's a little bit behind. But there were like players like Eric Dyer or Christian Romero. They are like pushing forward to
Covering
make
him,
those.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
that's not new with whoever has watched Bentancur for over the years. He's I'm not saying he's a bad player. In my opinion, is a very average player. Is he better than Ndombele? I don't know.
no, not at all. But there were actually
He's
players like
younger.
they
He's
had.
young,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand the transfer of Spurs because they have let four people go. Obviously, they were not really in, you know, according to Conte's system, it's probably not fitting them well. I could understand that, but getting two of the players from Juventus, I mean, I could understand Kulusevski a little bit, but probably not because they still have wider players, and Conte wanted a left-footed player. Um, but it almost seems like Spurs are doing a favor to Juventus
Um. Well, it's
because of
kind
the
of.
money and involved for Bentancur as well as Kulusevski. They're not really
I think
established star.
Bentancur is like on loan, and Kulusevski. No, no, no. Sorry, Bentancur they bought him, but Kulusevski is on loan.
On loan and pretty much option to buy, I guess. And if you don't lose track, Christian Romero is still on loan from Atalanta, and if they want to buy him, then they have to activate it in this summer.
Um, I don't think Christian Romero. They will go for Christian Romero because there were some incidents when Conte joined, and I don't know like if he's going to stay. There are rumors like he might leave the club, but if he stay and Christian like he's not like Christian Romero is not like a Antonio Conte defender. Probably Dyer is, but not. But today he actually did like it's a it's how can I say like it's more like a bittersweet match for Christian Romero today because he made like some brilliant blocks like
He covered a
in
lot of
front of.
spaces.
Yeah, actually he covered, and he and Eric Dyer actually covered this
Hmm.
Benton core.
And that
But
that 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 is the case with Bentancur, which I don't understand. I mean, obviously, I have seen him from Boca Juniors time, and obviously with Uruguay national team, and also when he moved to Juventus. I thought for a while one of the major reason Juventus midfield looks pretty ordinary because of the players there, and Bentancur is anything but average. And I could never understand the amount
uh,
that was paid for him.
it well, did Conte ever manage Bendencourt before?
No,
I don't know. Like I don't understand this transfer at all.
it
But
looks more of a the sporting director. What is his name? Patriarchi or Paritaci?
yeah, yeah.
He might know both of them very well because he's the one that brought them in Juventus.
Um, I don't understand. But well, I would say like this first
But
transfer with
how do you see?
like
Dele Alli is one of the iconic player if you talk about Tottenham Hotspur, and he's playing for Everton. Um,
uh,
Not saying that Dele Alli is really doing well in terms of forms, but it still feel kind of weird, isn't it?
well, it is. But the thing is that uh, since Mourinho took over Spurs, it felt like Dele Alli had like nothing to give to this club anymore. Like
Hmm.
it would be actually better for them to like sold him like 2 3 seasons ago
Okay.
to
No,
make room
fair
for new
enough.
players.
Fair enough. He doesn't look like the old Dele Alli. And obviously there is Ndombele. I was really excited about this lad for a long time because I've seen him in French league before, and he looked absolutely good player. And something hasn't clicked well in Spurs. Um, what it could be for Ndombele.
Well, there is a problems like everyone is pointing out. Like they changed quite a few managers since Pochettino left. It could be a reason
Yeah.
actually because this club like currently doesn't have any sort of like playing style. Let's see, like if you don't consider like last 5 or 6 matches, they
Hmm.
don't actually have. Even like Conte didn't have actually because there are rumors he's going to leave or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, for sure. He was almost giving an excuse. I've seen his interview that we've lost four important players, as if he didn't
Yeah.
know. And obviously the other player is Brian Gilson. And
Well, for me, it feels like a house clean from Spurs' point of view.
but
Like,
how come?
well,
Brian Gils never played a game, and
I
he's a
don't
very
know.
very skillful winger. I've seen him in La Liga. Lo Celso always played out of position. He was never played in the position. So how can you say it's a failure? Is it the system that they were brought in was different, and now you have to kind of loan him out? You see, Lo Celso today has been brilliant for Villarreal.
Yeah,
Um, I haven't seen Brian Gils after he left Spurs, but yeah, there Aurier. Uh, Aurier had to go anyway. But yeah, it's a head scratcher if I see the loan is went out, and it's more of a style rather than I don't know. But then again, why would you get Brian Gills, who is a very young player and who you could develop and has the pace, has the skill, and never played a game?
I don't know. Like, I cannot say. It like it seems like they don't have a plan for this player. So like,
Or they probably have switched so much that the plan actually for such particular players went away. Uh, so far, I know the Spurs is on the contingent for fourth place, but again, they're competitors, right? Let's see how they do in terms of winter transfer. How are you? Would you be pleased with the way Spurs dealt? Like Conte was complaining about, they have four important players left, and two players just came in. Two important players came in, and there is two deficits. So it seems like Conte isn't happy. Are you happy?
Not really.
Or
Uh,
was it Conte's way of deflecting or putting almost an excuse out there?
i- it's not like an excuse, but he's not actually uh, how can I say, like taking the responsibility of these departures.
Okay, fair enough. So from Tottenham Hotspur winter window, who do you think um, have done very well?
So sorry. Uh,
No, if we move from Tottenham Hotspur's winter window, who do
yeah,
you think have done really well in this winter transfer window?
from Premier League or
Any league is fine. Whoever you think has done actually very well.
well, I would say in terms of playing style or like improvement, or I would say the biggest transfer was Vlahovic to Juventus.
Juventus, yeah.
Yeah, because it
Uh,
was a quite impactful transfer, and they are now in the cup semi-final, and they were actually fighting quite a bit well, and he scored probably 2 3 goals in
and
two three
had an
matches.
impact, which is that
Yeah,
they were missing. Uh,
yeah, exactly. And their strikers actually there weren't any finisher like since Cristiano Ronaldo left.
well,
Um,
Morata does finish sometime, but he normally
yeah,
stays in
but
offside or
like
something. Yeah.
yeah, we actually talked about Morata quite a while
Well,
ago.
I've never seen a striker does so well in offside, or his like does marginally go to offside, but he's some of the brilliant goals have been chalked off.
Exactly.
So yeah, the Morata is still there. There is Vlahovic, and Morata is okay probably to play alongside him. And what I've seen with Vlahovic is very good understanding with Dybala,
Yeah,
and I think that
but I don't know what would happen like when Chiesa comes back.
that's true. But
But
again,
it could
Dybala is
be
their captain.
something. Yeah, it could be, but the thing is that like Dybala is probably Dybala's contract is like ending in this.
Yeah, and they're not going to extend it as well.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
might be
So
free.
yeah,
On Juventus side, they have offloaded Bentancur and Kulusevski, got some money, um, bought Vlahovic and Zakaria. Uh, and is Ramsey still around, or he went for loan? I can't
I
remember.
know that Ramsey were actually playing for Rangers.
Okay, so that's another kind of dead dude that moved
Yeah,
from Juventus. So I think they've done quite well in terms of winter transfer.
yeah, yeah. So far they actually cleaned up their how can
Dead
I say?
dudes and Spurs
Yeah,
taken a few of them. Um, but yeah, I've seen very little of Zakaria. I didn't see much. Still early days for me. Um, but yes, Juventus is pushing for top four position. I think they're almost there. But they all of a sudden after Vlahovic came in, they do look a very different side than it was before. Um, so other than Juventus, who do you think have done fairly well? Barcelona?
I was thinking about it actually, but I don't know what to say because like two of their transfer are like quite good so far, but like I probably texted you about Aubameyang. So Dani Alves, like in sense of attacking, he's quite good, but
He's
we saw
38.
here,
Yeah. He's,
yeah,
he
he,
has
he's
this short
struggling.
short impact for sure.
Yeah. The another thing is that like, do you like which clubs Paqueta was playing? Like,
Paqueta was originally for Milan and then he moved to Lyon.
Leo. There's this Brazilian midfielder or defender. I forgot his name actually. He's probably named Florent da Silva,
Hmm.
or
Something
I don't know. Like,
I can't remember. Go ahead. If you tell me the story, I might remember.
this guy actually moved to some club in English Premier League or somewhere. He was actually he actually caught my eyes, but I don't actually remember his name at all.
Okay.
He was yeah, he was playing really well against PSG. I don't know like what's his name. Like I was tracking him for a while, but I forgot his name.
It's okay.
Unfortunately.
It's okay.
But yeah, we were saying about Barcelona. Adama Traore made like I don't know a blasting impact
hmm
so far.
hmm
Um, but the thing is that like um, when whenever this in this season, Ansu Fati was playing well. He had this urge like give me the ball, I will show it or something like this, and he was like taking shots like he was playing like it's his own team, like this this is what Barcelona is missing right now actually. Like they need some sort of like sincere player who can actually like think like they know that like Memphis Depay
So
when he joined.
you're
Mm.
talking about X Factor.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Uh, like after the winter transfer, there were the Barca played like two matches probably, right? Two or three
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah. If we include that Europa League game. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that like, we saw that like when Aubameyang was playing in the middle and Torres and um, Traore, they both were in the
Flank.
yeah, in the opposite side of the pitch, and they could not actually like it's not practical. They wouldn't like have some sort of chemistry going on at the time, and that is the moment actually Barcelona felt actually vulnerable. Like Torres was trying on his own, Traore was trying on his own, and Adama like he like Aubameyang did not make those runs, and like in the end it felt like they were actually like three different people
Hmm.
like
Not
doing their own.
coordinated.
Yeah, but I would say
It
like
might take
Barcelona
time
has.
too, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
it
had
could
two, three
actually,
games.
but yeah, this is
But
the first time that
whatever
we
happened to
consider
Memphis Depay?
he's struggling with injuries. So far I know like he has two different issues. Probably one is muscular and another one I don't know, but
But I thought he was ready to play, and then I don't know if Xavi will actually play him. Uh, the problem with Depay, man, he could be good or or he could be bad, but sometimes he has that, ownership and taking people and basically trying to finish and show him as show himself as a leader, which can be good or bad. I don't know in this Xavi's system. But you're definitely right on Ansu Fati, and obviously Dembele's situation doesn't help.
yeah, Actually, Barca made it worse, like saying him publicly go away or something like this. They could have actually negotiated like with other clubs, like without saying it like publicly. It doesn't, like, like, if you get a player like at the end of the season for free, why would you want to buy him? Or some, like, why would you want to pay like 20-30 million?
Okay,
So
I think this is a classic case of poor mismanagement from Barcelona. First of all, you hyped him up as a president. Laporta shouldn't have said that he's better than Neymar. One. Then you're getting Ferran Torres for what, 50, 60 million from City, and when you're coming to the contract with the agent and Dembele and saying that we don't have money. And by the way, we are buying Haaland. We don't have money for you, but we are buying Haaland. We have already bought Ferran Torres for 50, 60 million, and we don't have money for you, but we think that we are going to buy Haaland as well as others. So I think this is a classic mismanagement of speaking too much on the press. You shouldn't have said anything about Haaland. You shouldn't have said the prices of Ferran Torres at this point before you deal with Dembele, because it was important for the club to get some sort of contract for Dembele and sell him and get some money out of him. Now he's going to work for free. It's a huge wastage of Coutinho and Dembele.
yeah, like, if you see the player's point of view, like, he they kind of humiliated him in public.
He
So
was humiliated from the right go. From he's not he's absent in or he's late on practice. He plays all night video games. He does this that. I'm not defending Dembele. He might have his own situation going, but then you publicly come and say he's one of the leaders and he's one of the better players than Neymar, and then you go in contract extension when you're talking about buying Haaland. I don't know how you do that without money, and bought Ferran Torres from Manchester City, and you're already registering other players such as Dani Alves. You're getting Adama Traore, so you definitely have some money. It's not that you don't have money, because Barcelona, don't forget, they have bought Eric Garcia, who came for free almost. Depay still there; he has to be paid. I mean, whatever the amount, it has to be paid. And
no, he came for free.
no, no, he came for free, but there is salary, so he has to be paid, right?
Yeah.
There was Sergio Aguero, minimized amount, and then obviously Aguero didn't charge extra for the condition, health condition. But and then you did sell Emerson Royal. You did who else went? Cucurella. I don't know if this transfer window or the
Trincao.
Tinka, yeah, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
Um, so when you're dealing with a
No,
player, yeah,
Semedo also left.
player and player agent, right? And you're talking of buying one of the most expensive player right now in a huge amount, right? You couldn't afford Messi, but and you're hyping up the player saying he's better than Neymar, and now you're sitting on a contract. Obviously, you're not going to offer him that much, but you already set up yourself in a losing position by saying those things in media and then expecting him to cut his salary.
Yeah, exactly. Why would I sign, like, if I have like this public humiliation? I
And you're
I
buying
can
Haaland
actually,
anyway.
yeah, exactly.
You're buying a lot of people, whoever is free as well. So yeah, it's yeah, definitely Dembele didn't lived up to what was expected of him. But there is still a very skillful player, and I don't know Barcelona, well, except probably Ansu Fati has that, you know, X factor. at this point. Maybe fully fit Memphis
But
Depay, but he's not as good. Or maybe Luke De Jong, who you who you basically didn't really appreciate at first.
well, it seems like after like seeing the whole matches, like in whole January, like if Barcelona scores one goal, it's from Luke De Jong, and uh, well, you can, if someone plays like this, you kind of have to give him some sort of like a playing time or something like this, and
Exactly.
he
So
looks like far more threatening in the air than like. For example, against Espanyol, Barcelona actually finished 26 crosses in the box, while
who
Ferran
would have
Torres in the middle.
imagined? Who would have imagined that Barcelona had 26 crosses on the box?
It's it's unbelievable. It's like watching
Uh,
90s football
yeah.
all over.
Anyway, go ahead.
The thing is that like if you have Ferran Torres in the middle, you shouldn't actually cross like this. Right? But they don't have any sort of firepower at that time. But yeah, the thing the tactics actually did not change much. I think like that's why probably like if we have time like later or
No,
probably in the next
definitely
episode, like we will
tactics definitely changed
go
a
through
bit.
tactics.
What I'm talking about, but in the winter transfer window, I mean, it looks like a lot of player is in Barcelona, and there's a contract extension for Dembele basically went down, and then um, is it Alemany his name? He basically said that Dembele will never play again. If that is the case, you should always consult before you talk in the press. You always consult with the coach because coach want him to play.
I don't know, like it's totally messed up situation there. I don't like that's why I was thinking like there were like at least two or three if we count Dani Alves, like three impact signings in the squad, and Barcelona looks right now it looks a little bit more fresh than they were in January or
Definitely, definitely,
December.
definitely. But yeah,
So
still the goal is for them to finish in top four and see where they go in the Europa League as well. But the other question I wanted to ask regarding Barcelona is there is no doubt Ferran Torres is a very talented player and he will have his time um, as well to prove his worth. But Barcelona can be a very cruel place, teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, right? So
yeah,
I've seen him crying after the game versus Napoli in the first leg. What do you see? Do you see him succeeding in Barcelona? Because he's not a number nine for sure,
he
or
is not going
traditional
to
number
be
nine.
actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's not going to be.
Okay.
Um, because if um, I don't know if they somehow land Haaland, he's definitely not going to be number nine. He played really well in the left side, but
That's Ansu
that is
Fati, isn't it?
yeah, that is Fatih's position,
Or
and
Gavi. Gavi
or
can
Gavi.
play.
Actually,
Gavi can play anywhere. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
actually, well, I when I saw how he was taking what's his name, this right back from Espanyol,
Alex Vidal.
uh, yeah, Alex Vidal. Wow, he's like twice his age, and but he was taking this guy like torn him apart,
Yeah.
and it was brilliant to watch actually. But this thing is that like um if they somehow land Haaland, it could be one of the fastest. Uh, how can I say attack? They
Mm.
have to
Mm.
change. They have to change their tactics. Also, like if they buy back after the loan period, if they want like buy back Adama Traore, he could be like really devastating. Like you saw he already has like two assists or three even. two assists in 3 matches.
No,
It's quite
definitely. But
brilliant.
but what I see against Napoli, Napoli were double protecting him, so he was not as
Yeah,
impactful. So if
basically Insigne were playing as a backup left back or something like I
so
don't know what's his
so
position.
if you put two players on him, this would be interesting. I'm pretty sure he can make it, but that that uh, that creates a cry out for other players to link up with him really well. And obviously, if Dani
That
Alves
that
is there.
that's what I was telling you. Like when Torres was playing besides him,
Mhm.
it wasn't a problem for him because Torres was making those vertical run
Connections,
toward
yeah.
towards yeah. So like he was like luring out I don't know like a center back um, to the wings and make some sort of space in between the for him to run. So like yeah, it could open up on the like one time finishers like Aubameyang. Like Aubameyang was playing on the left for Arsenal for a long time. Even
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
so it's just like right now it's not his natural position to playing in the middle. So like I would say like even like Torres, how Torres were linking up with Gabi, or like before that how you were linking up with the Pedri. It it kinds of feels like a if he like he loves to drop down a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
And Adama Traore, like Xavi's technique is like that Traore should be out wide all the time. So like
Yeah, to make
there
the
are
pitch bigger. Yeah.
yeah, and if um Torres drop down and the defensive midfielders of the oppositions like pushing back to the midfields, there are already some space. And if the some guys make vertical run from the left, there are opening space for Gabi or Jordi Alba to cover. It could be like huge actually.
No,
They should have
that's a
actually
great insight for from window to tactical suitability. Um, let's hold on and see how Barca does, because there's a lot of players they've got free, and let's
and
see
there are a lot of free players going to like in the
coming
upcoming
out.
summer summer sale I was saying.
But yeah, you have to be. And then there is the talk of Sergio Roberto's extension has broken down, so he's probably going to leave as well. Um, and I don't know what is the situation of Serginho Dest at this point, but yeah, let's see how Barcelona
Well,
does.
I was surprised actually. Like last 2 matches, Des played quite well.
Yes, but I think from Barcelona's point of view, they still want someone like Dani Alves.
Also, so far, what missing in the midfield actually, mm, I don't know. Like if the players be can develop the skill, like they missed some sort of like a left-footed midfielder in the middle
For sure.
because
That's why I
because
always have said, if there was some, Brian Ruiz or Giovanni Lo Celso were exactly there to play for Barcelona, because you need vision, you need.
well yeah, they can actually buy Lo Celso for quite a cheap actually.
I don't think so. At this point, the idea is to buy a Spanish player. So even then, Brian Ruiz is a very good player. Um, so yeah, you do need a left-footed player in your team just to make it a different uh, in terms of attack. Okay, let's let's move from Barcelona. Um, who else do you think had a very great winter window?
Mm, I wouldn't say like great because nobody was spending much
Yeah,
so far. But it's
but how do you see
quite
Manchester
predictable.
City buying River Plate's diamond? They say Julian Alvarez, and then keeping him in a River Plate for a while, and then obviously he scored another hat trick before buying and after buying. But yeah, very short comment would be nice if you have if you're excited about Julian Alvarez at all.
Well, you saw that like I posted something in our Facebook page, and I was kind of um, how can I say, expecting that from like from
Manchester,
either City or United, like
right?
either side of the Manchester. But I did not see like he's fitting in United system right now. But
Well, United, yeah, that used to be a nice team. Nice, go ahead. Because
yeah,
I,
but
I was I was talking about Van de Beek, who went to Everton and playing really well, and he didn't have any chance in United at all. So yeah, please go back to Alvarez situation.
Um, uh, and yeah, I was sometimes players did choose wrong team because of money, or probably they wanted to play somewhere in Premier League or stuff like this, or some other issues. It happens. Even like I was actually worried about it because if like is it going to be another Veron case, for Manchester United? Because he doesn't actually even like when like right now Ragnick is in charge, but it doesn't seems it's his team. And there were like three issues like right now there are there like another issues like popped up like with the captaincy.
So who do they need? Mauricio Pochettino, who's doing really horribly in PSG. PSG is losing 3-0 against Nantes as we speak. So I don't know. Manchester United could be a different chapter, could be a huge book. How the system is going on and what are the inside politics
Yeah,
dressing room.
but yeah, like if any club like City is like so far perfect for him
for,
in
for
so many,
Alvarez.
yeah, for Alvarez. But also I was thinking about Arsenal. If he like somehow choose Arsenal, it would be nice for him because Arteta was also like building up, like playing from the back, and
There was
they
huge
are
rumor
performing well so
Nagelsmann
far.
like him. So there was a Bayern Munich interest as well. But obviously, City being City, they were very proactive. Um, my
They
question,
were so far. I remember they were actually scouting him in probably in November, end of November
yeah,
or December in the Libertadores match.
yeah, and also
There were
there
scouts
was
actually
Inter
spotted.
Milan and AC Milan were rumored, but
Yeah, we talked about it.
yeah,
Like, yeah, if
eventually
he goes for Inter Milan, then it would be nice because there are rumors like Lautaro Martinez may
may move.
leave. Yeah, for Arsenal or someone else.
Yeah, because Conte likes him. Um, so yeah, coming back to Alvarez is what can so there are a lot of City supporters were asking because he's Argentine. He looks like same celebration as Kun Aguero, right? And he's scoring goals. Is he same player as Aguero? Um, Potentially
Is
not.
not actually.
No, no, it's a
Yeah,
very different
no
players.
way. Like this, his playing like technique is a lot different than
Mm.
Aguero.
Aguero was a very good dribbler. Alvarez is not a dribbler. He's a very good passer, and he's good at connecting with other players. He does drop down. He can play in either flank. He can play as a number 10.
Also, yeah, also he can actually like make one touch assist or one touch finish.
Yeah, so
Most of the time
his
he is
connection
doing
is the
like
most. Uh,
and Aguero actually never played probably in the wing position. Probably with City sometimes with
if
Guardiola, but
yeah, if he was forced, otherwise not. But
yeah,
Aguero was started as more of a number 10 and then second striker than as a 9. But yeah, yeah, Alvarez. I'm kind of surprised to see him scoring that many because when I started watching, he was more of a flank player, utility player, can play both flanks or number 10 and can assist and can play as a. It's almost like a Thomas Muller. Uh, if I have to, I'm not saying Thomas Muller, but if you have to compare with someone, because Thomas Muller has does very intelligence of where he can, stand in between lines and go into the bylines and drift here, drift there, and he can assist. Uh,
Actually, there is a German term for him. Actually, it was discovered
yeah,
discovered just to explain his position. So, um, so yeah, Thomas Muller. Yeah, he's more similar to Thomas Muller actually.
yeah, maybe not the playing style, but the impact of the game is
Yeah,
more towards
exactly.
Muller. But yeah, nevertheless, he's a very good player, gem of a player, and also good for him and River Plate that he can stay in River Plate and grow, and then they could go and push for the subcontinent trophy this year. So, any other transfer news? I did briefly talk about Van de Beek as well as
Uh,
Dele Alli.
we while we were talking about Barcelona, we did not talk about Conte. Yeah, sorry, Coutinho.
Oh, Coutinho. Yes, Aston Villa. Hasn't Coutinho been really good?
Actually, it's not that much of a mystery, actually,
Yeah.
um, because his playing style is like, I don't know, like it's nowhere near to Barcelona's or
Hmm, hmm.
anyway. I did not like like when they were buying him in January, like with like emptying their bank. I did not understand it then. I did not understand. I like yeah, I did not understand at all like what happened. But the thing
But
is that
there
like
is thing with Coutinho. There is a thing
it's
with
not
Coutinho that if you buy him in higher price, he is not the same player. If you buy him like very cheap, he's gonna give you very good output. Is it
well,
is is it about stress or money pressure or something? Or the
it could be
suitability?
that it could be, but it's more like more, yeah, goes with suitability because like he's not Neymar. Like let's be honest,
Yeah.
like, but if you plan like things like doing stuff like Neymar could do, it's not because it's not the same person and not in the same personality, not anywhere near Neymar. But like the thing with Coutinho is how can I say, like he's more comfortable if the team plays around him,
Mhm. And
you
also
know.
covers him. That's very
Yeah.
important because he's not a very athletic person in terms of tracking back. And if there are players who can cover him and protect him, and he can find the ball in certain spaces, and that space is actually for him to maneuver, he can be a very good player. But if there are other players on the space, say for example Antoine Griezmann was there, or Messi was there, or the other players were there in Barcelona, didn't happen for him. If you put him in the flank, he's not that pacey guy to go in the flank. He's always going to come back inside, and that creates a bit of jam as well. So Barcelona, I could never understand why they've spent that much for a player of his profile. He's a very good player, not make no mistake, but that's the highest uh, paid transfer in the Barcelona's entire history, right? And that didn't go well. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that eventually he found a team that basically plays on his strength.
Yeah, and like Steven Gerrard know him like I don't know for 4 seasons. So yeah, clicked right away.
Yeah, yeah. Any other key window transfer that we're missing?
Mm, not from France, I don't think so.
Mm, not major. Uh,
I'm just right now. I'm checking actually.
Nothing extraordinary even in Germany.
No, not at all.
Nothing extraordinary even in Italy except Juventus we covered. Oh, Atalanta got Jeremy Boga, who I like a lot in Sassuolo. So I think they've got a very good player in Boga. Um, and I like to know who are the scouts of Atalanta because they always find some very interesting players that suits them, and they buy them really cheap. Um,
Yeah. Also, they have quite a bunch of academy players. I probably wrote to you
yeah.
because they have more than 60 players in
Did we
on
talk
loan
about
right now.
Gozens at all to Inter?
Oh no, no, no. Actually, we did actually probably in the last time when we
Oh, okay,
were talking about,
okay.
or like is it in between us? I actually forgot.
I absolutely forgot that if we have talked about Gozens because Gozens is
Like
one of
we
the
talked, but
top player.
I don't know like we if it is in the podcast or we were talking
I'm
about
on
the
the same
same
page.
player.
I don't remember, but it's not a bad idea just to have few
Yeah,
lines about Gozens. How do you feel about Gozens moving to Inter?
it, like it's brilliant. Like probably in one of the matches at the beginning of the season, I probably talked about like they need a left back because they're
Thanks to Antonio Conte,
and
they signed Ashley Young or someone like very old, and then they need one.
yeah, exactly. So so far, it was only the piece of the puzzle that were missing so far.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant signing, and Atlanta is also almost like another club called Sevilla in Spain, who or you can also probably talk about Leicester at this point, or
Oh, I want to talk about Newcastle. Actually, they
oh yeah,
were unbeaten in last 5 matches, and there were quite a
some
new signings
additions.
like
Yeah,
Matt Target from Villa to Newcastle. Uh,
and some
but
sensible signings. It's not extraordinary. Some very sensible signings.
yeah, so far, what's his name? This right back. Um, this English guy from Atletico Madrid.
The Trippier, current
Yeah,
Trippier.
Trippier.
Hmm.
Actually, he scored like 2 or 3 winning goals like since he joined. So yeah, they were actually they bought quite a bunch of players actually.
Yeah, there are quite a bit of people signed for, and we expected after the takeover from a Middle East, and
Oh, another player I forgot to mention for Juventus, Denis Zakaria.
yeah, no, I said that briefly.
Oh,
Zakaria
okay.
is a
Sorry.
good player, a way better player than I said about Ramsey being sold out and obviously Bentancur. I always felt like they're doing a very good favor for the Spurs is doing very good favor for Juventus to clean their mess. But yeah, anyway, Zakaria is a very talented player, and it would be interesting to see him in Juventus
Uh, Christian Eriksen returned,
coming back.
yeah, for
Brentford,
Brentford.
yes,
Uh,
always
yeah,
exciting
so yeah, it's a good news in so many way, like so
levels,
many
exactly.
levels. Yeah,
But yeah, hope that he's healthy and stays healthy as that way.
yeah.
I think
Um,
uh, if we don't have anything, I mean, we can.
yeah, I don't know. I was just checking that there were whole bunch of transfer were going on,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely. There
nothing
are a lot.
seemed like how can I say
Nothing
important.
impactful that happened
Yeah,
in January, and that's how January transfer window normally are. I mean, there are some impact happens.
yeah. Yeah. That player, I found his name, Bruno Guimaras,
Okay,
from Leo to Newcastle.
right.
Um, yeah, I just found him. Yeah, finally. The thing is that like when I was watching PSG game,
Hmm.
he was basically running the whole show from behind, and he was finding Paqueta in dangerous position, um, which like probably Paqueta scored once against them, and it was decisive. Probably I don't remember scorecard, but the thing about him, like he almost ran like an engine, and he could be this other double pivot in the Brazilian national team, like which was missing in the Copa America.
Yeah, oh, I agree. Oh, Brazil does have Marquinhos, who is absolutely brilliant, and I'm fairly impressed with Militao's season in
Uh,
Madrid so
I
far.
was going to ask you about that actually. He only
Go ahead.
had this like he's not that fast, but except for that, everything is like okay.
Yeah, no, for a
He's
first
an okay
season
player.
in a team like Real Madrid, um, isn't it his first entire season? Yeah, it's been very good. I mean, at certain times, if you have a very good goalkeeper behind you, that saves you a lot. But he
Mm.
has been very well so far. Whatever I've seen of Real Madrid, it's been very good.
Yeah. Do you think like Modric probably signed a new contract for 2 more years, and um, do you think they need midfielders because they bought Kamavinga in the beginning of the season?
Yeah, and then he started to play, and then he slightly kind of disappeared from the scene. Um,
Actually, they did not put how can I say pressure or any sort of responsibility on him. Uh,
Yeah, what was
they were
happening in
there
the
like
Real
so far.
Madrid at the early of the season? I think Casemiro looked a bit off. Now he's back on his level, and that gives a lot of security on the midfield. And whenever they're playing with Cruz and Modric, Modric definitely wonderful player, but not the same player. He's especially in the midfield, right? He's I don't know if you want to extend his contract for 2 years, probably a year at most.
Yeah. Have you watched PSG versus Real Madrid?
Yeah, but we're
Uh,
talking about this transfer window, right? So if we are good with the transfer window, we can close this and then move to something else.
well, let me like make a quick check if we missed anything. I don't know. Oh, Luis Diaz moved to Liverpool. We missed that. Like one of the most
Yeah.
impactful
Luis
signings.
Diaz, yeah, definitely is one of the. I liked him quite a lot, even for the entire. To me, he's the most consistent player for Colombia national team for last year or so, or even more. But he's a. I can see he's very skillful to the level that you can depend on him. And he had a
He's
very.
quite similar player to like Sadio Mane.
Yeah, exactly. His
And we both know that like Salah and Mane's contract are ending next year season.
Yeah, so
So
that
do you
might
think they
be
gonna
always.
sign or something?
Yeah, Luis Diaz is definitely is one of the alternative of them. And now the question regarding Salah, I think Liverpool would be foolish to let him go at this point.
Or so like they are going to choose Salah to stay and Mane to leave or something like this.
Can happen. But again, Mane is a very Mane's impact on the game is more on the team level. Salah is more kind of a he has that finishing touch more. Not saying Mane is not, but if you have to choose between Salah and Mane, I think they're going to choose Salah because he gives them something very different, which um, you don't find it in the market at this point.
Yeah. Also, with mm, Bobby Firmino, he scored on the last Champions League match, and right now Diego Jota is playing it in his position, like starting the game, and probably he's coming back. Firmino is coming after the
Yeah,
break, or probably playing for 30 minutes or something like this. And it's like completely different. Two different teams are playing when
exactly.
Jota is there, and
Yeah,
so
I still like
I,
Firmino as a player, and
Jota already like in the second on the Premier League as his top chart.
fair enough. He's a very good player, but
He
I
already
think
scored like 14, 15 goals in all season, like all
no
competitions.
complaint, no complaint. Jota is a wonderful player. I'm not saying anything, but there is something about Firmino when he's there. Teams look something very different. Like there is something going to happen through him because of not saying Jota is a dumb player, but Firmino's intelligence on the ball and the others' movement makes him a very exceptional player, especially for Liverpool. Um, and I do have another player I like in Liverpool who hasn't, I think, got enough chance. He's always in the bench. Origi, very good player, very talented, very fast. So maybe Origi might come and replace one of them in more. But yeah, Origi, whenever he's given chance in bigger games, has come and basically put his stamp.
Fair enough. What do you think of this transfer from Daniel Vaz from Valencia to Atletico Madrid?
Was is always someone who is a very industrious player. I mean, he was on Celta Vigo.
He's 32 years old.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so
But yeah, if you see his history of injuries, it's almost a clean sheet. Like he got injured very recently against Barcelona, but
yeah.
he doesn't got get injured. So that's where I think, and that is almost like a emergency sort of uh, signing after Trippier has left. And Atletico is going through some weird phases and patches.
They considered more goals than Barcelona this season.
Well,
It's
they they're
probably the second time
there are
it
10 or
ever
11
happened.
teams who considered less goals than Atletico. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah, so I think was is a more temporary or an alternative option, but at this point they had to find someone. But he's is fairly reliable as a player. Nothing extraordinary, but very good player in terms of. If you remember, Atletico's veteran right back was Juan Fran.
Yeah.
He wasn't a very exceptional player, but he what he has at that team, that connectivity and used to always sacrifice for his teammates. So I think it's similar sort of mentality for Was whenever he played for Valencia or Celta Vigo. I've seen him, or even a short period in Athletic Bilbao. I think he definitely ticks that box. So I think from that point of view, they got him, and he's fairly cheap as well.
Well, let's move on to um, Antonio Martial.
Oh yes, Anthony Martial. Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
I think Martial.
what do you think?
Uh, doesn't he look happy and doesn't he feel good for a player after he moved away from like almost rotting on the bench of Manchester United and going a team like Sevilla and having having almost instant impact.
Yeah, right. It feels like they were like he was I don't know, like looking for some stage to show off something or something like this.
Yeah, and if you see his other interview that Barcelona were interested, but he was very clear he's going to go in Sevilla. And I think that shows his intelligence as well because he kind of see that there are too many attackers in Barcelona. He might be sitting on the bench or there is no
Yeah,
suitability, right? So he went to compete against Rafa Mir. Rafa Mir, with all respect, is not the most um, greatest striker. So I think Anthony Marshall can compete with him, and there is a very good team in Sevilla as well. I mean, very good teams in terms of talents and players and personality, and they're still fighting for the La Liga.
yeah. I think it's a brilliant addition in their fireworks, like firepower.
Yeah,
Um,
and
he can actually
he's more
play
of
in
a
the as a
skill,
striker
yeah, and a
also
winger.
in the left wings, and yeah, it could be it would come in handy actually at the end of the season,
It
and he
almost
can
gives them a
actually
boost.
yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, Arsenal say like sell. I don't know. They sold players or some players actually like leave for loan. But probably Callum Chambers actually left because he could not actually fit with the
system.
current Arteta's
Mhm.
like playing style. He's not like good with balls, and it's more like um, he's not like how can I say a player who can actually rely you can rely on for like passing the balls around the forwards when they are pressing towards you. Um,
Mhm.
but he's doing quite well with Aston Villa.
Yes, uh, and that's that's another team. I mean, Aston Villa looks like
What do you think of that actually? Like as like right now, Steven Gerrard took over Aston Villa, and Everton actually like Lampard took over
Everton.
uh, Everton, and they bought some players like
Very interesting
Everton.
players.
Yeah, and they are actually playing quite well. So does
Yes,
Newcastle United. And what do you think of that actually?
I think that shows there are teams who gives the coaches a bit of time. Sometimes time needed if you understand you're going in the right direction. For those mid-table teams, I mean, I'm calling all of them actually mid-table, although Newcastle
Yeah,
belongs to more downwards. Uh, but then you don't have, if you see the style isn't really bringing you the results, so you can change based on whatever is in the market and whatever you can bring in terms of new ideas and new players and the identity, right? So I think Aston Villa have done very well. I think they're one of the examples, not just in England, but potentially on the European market as well, how to bring some fallen star or fallen players out of favor players and bring them and utilize them best way. And Everton seems to be following that. Everton
I
under Rafa Benitez was very unwatchful. One of the most boring sides you can see in games. Now it looks a little different, definitely.
yeah, it's look way different, and I think even like staying in top 20, it would like top 16, it would be really tough right now. Like with Leeds, Newcastle all have firepowers right now, and it's getting more interesting every day. And there were like whole bunch of unexpected results. Like you cannot This game has like in Premier League has become more unpredictable than ever after this transfer window, especially.
True, true. Especially the teams that need points to stay in. I mean, they're going for it, and that makes that promises at least. And so far, I mean, even for Crystal Palace, Crystal Palace got it absolutely good when they started the season. There was a bit of lean patches in between, but overall, I mean, yeah, what an impact the Vieira had on the team and the players, and that's another team uh, you take it to be noted. Um, there are other teams such as, I mean, you always knew that Norwich is not going to be great, but they'll try to find points wherever they can and make something happen. Brentford is a very very interesting team. Um, they always get some useful players who is very not known and then turns into a very good team. And again, their approach is very different than others. You have Southampton, who is actually very good
They are
for a
not.
long time.
Yeah,
Eh,
but they are not doing well at all this season.
No, but what I'm saying in to keep it up to the Premier League, I mean Southampton.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're standing at this point, but um, they do keep some players and bring some players through the system. Uh, is something that Southampton does very well.
Uh, uh, what do you think of um, what's his team? Granada. They got some ex Barca players,
Yes.
and they actually drew against Barcelona like at the beginning of January.
Yeah,
And
they're
their coach
very
is
good.
Roberto Moreno.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a very, very good team, to be honest. Very physical, if you see. They have that physical presence. Very quick. They can.
Actually, right now they are not that much physical team. Like if you see these new players, like Molina used to play
Mhm,
for Barcelona,
mhm.
probably B team. Right now, Colado is on loan there, and there are some like ex
They're
Barcelona
they're they're def
academy
definitely
graduates.
when I say it's in their midfield and also in the back line, you'll find always there is a physicality, but they have added technicality as well. That's why Roberto Moreno uh, is known for. He's a very technical coach in terms of.
Yeah, and it seems interesting. Like when I was watching them against Barcelona, their transition from midfield to towards the forward line, it's quite different than um, Granada we know, or like it's not like even they when they did not have ball, like Barcelona probably scored first or something like this. And yeah, when
But we're talking
they
about
did not have.
Barcelona of Koeman, right? Isn't it?
No, no, no.
Oh, the recent game, right?
Yeah, recent game.
Okay.
Because uh, when they did not have ball, they were almost they were playing like a Premier League team. Like they were chasing for going for every balls, like one-to-one duels. And uh, actually, they after that they scored, um, and they actually how can I say pressed Barcelona up to the goalkeeper quite a few
It could be
times.
possible. I have missed that game because I was I was in vacation, but I didn't see that particular game. But I did see Granada's other games, recent ones and stuff like that. Obviously, they look wonderful. But the team I think nobody is talking about and very fun to watch is Real Betis. Um,
Yeah,
uh, absolutely fun team to watch. What a team to watch, and it seems like Pellegrini, how many years of from that? 2007, Villarreal getting into Champions League semi-final, and then he went to the bigger jobs but didn't get much success. There was a time then this Real Betis is absolutely filled with some very good players. There are some extra, ex-Barcelona players like Theo and Marc Bartra and stuff like that. But you still get a very good core of the team, and it's a very exciting team to watch. Very, very. I don't know. People don't talk much about Real Betis, but they're, if I'm not mistaken, in third position in La Liga at this point.
Yeah, and yeah, their position is not that threatening actually from Barca or
Or Atletico.
Atletico. Yeah, they could be the third in at the end of the season because both of the teams are like they were
Struggling,
looking
struggling.
just to like just to made it to the top four or something like this.
Yeah, and
But
and and I've seen their games against who was it? Is it Rain? No, Real Betis against. I think it was Spartak Moscow, or is it or Zenit Saint Petersburg? It was a brilliant game of 3-2. It was very entertaining. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Um,
and
do
Barcelona
you
is
think they
linked
can?
with Nabil Fakir, who is actually 80 million. We were talking about transfer window, right? And then
Yeah,
Uh, Laporta seems to like him, and his price tag is 80 million. How do you see that happening?
I don't see that actually because if they uh, want to make a statement signing, um, it would be like
And Nabil Fakir
Haaland.
is a left-footed playmaker.
Yeah, but he can also play in the wing also. But also I saw him playing in as a number 10 or number
Hmm
8.
hmm hmm hmm
He covers the ball well. He track
No,
back.
technically he's one of the fine player
Yeah,
around.
yeah, but I don't see him fitting in Barcelona because I don't know. Like it's not possible financially. 80 million is too much for Barcelona.
But I don't know. Barcelona seems to have money because they're going for Haaland and they bought a franchise.
Actually, have you noticed that like there are rumors if they miss Haaland, they are going to buy Isaac.
Uh, I've seen a lot of them, to be honest, and I keep chuckling with each Barcelona linked up news because you never know which is true, which is not true, which is there for marketing, which is there for just statement.
But
Um,
what do you think of Alexander Isaac?
he's a
Uh,
very good player, technically very strong. It's hard to.
well, he's quite similar to Julian Alvarez actually.
No. Different, different
Well,
in terms
like
of.
when he's like going for going
No,
to attack.
he's good at linked up, and I see
Yeah,
that. But he's to me he's more because whatever Sociedad game I've seen, he's more powerful player. I mean, it's more of a presence in as a number nine. It's almost like very young Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Uh, but I don't know if Barcelona is a good suit or not. And he's not a prolific scorer as well. He's more.
yeah, that's the thing actually. Um,
It's if we're talking about if Haaland is not there, you need a scorer, and there is a guy called Haller in Ajax who's scoring left, right, center. Can't stop scoring. I don't know why he cannot be a very good fit in Barcelona.
and like, do you think like right now if um,
So
is it
for the just to see how many attackers Barcelona currently have.
well, I
Nine,
there are
10.
yeah, 9, 8 or 9 probably.
Are they getting the goals anyway?
that's the that's the thing actually.
You can
Uh,
add another two or three, but question is who is going to give you consistent amount of goal?
I don't know. Like I honestly I don't know the answer. I had an like I have an additional question about this transfer window. Like, do you think is it sensible to buy a player for like 70-80 million
Well,
right
if they
now
could
for
afford
any team?
70, 80 million, they should have went for not for Torres, but Vlahovic. He would have given them the goal or had the impact. If they couldn't go for Vlahovic, I
No,
could have.
I was talking about any team like right now after the pandemic. Do you
Yes,
think like
70, 80 million.
yeah?
Depends
Do
if
you
you're
think like
it depends if you're Fiorentina, you're not gonna get 70, 80 million, right?
yeah? True, but
English Premier League's teams normally have more more money, and it's easier for them to replace and find a player. Not so much for, say, for example, a mid-table team in Italy or even in Spain, right? Say, for example, Real Sociedad have this guy Isaac. Uh,
yeah,
Say, for example, if he leaves, can Sociedad spend 70 million and get a striker? I don't think so.
yeah. Um, it's like I don't know like when I think about the financial conditions of these clubs, I don't see like it's not sustainable to buy a player for like 70-80 million, and you can buy like two players in that money, and they can probably outshine the one player you were counting on.
Well, then it all depends on your goals, what you want to get from the team, and whatever you have on I mean, on your team already, and what kind of profile you're looking for. You have to be smart. You cannot just. I mean, Barcelona definitely got what a lot of free players, but how many actually are suitable to play?
Well,
I can see a few
if you are
players.
talking about Barcelona, most of them are like panic buying since 2014 probably.
Mhm,
Every,
mhm.
like almost all of these signings are like panic buying.
Yeah, if you see some of the way Manchester City handling right now, they're finding potential players and loaning them out, and um, in case they don't get to the level, they can still sell them and get the money, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's a very mature way of looking into the markets and finding players, and rather than showing off and being a celebrity in the news, and have your printed media. You have to sell news just because you are a big team. If you keep doing that, it's one of the finest example of mismanagement, especially economic ones.
So far, the biggest news in the transfer market is Mbappe.
Yeah,
Do you see him playing for PSG next season?
I don't think so. I think it was very clear from um, long time that his dream team is Real Madrid, and he wanted to move there. Um, so all the noise, I don't buy it.
There are new rumors like they are going to offer 500,000 per week.
Well,
Money will change, or
money might change, but then Kylian Mbappe has enough money, and he can ask a lot of money from Real Madrid as well. It's not that he's not going to get paid in Real Madrid. They're going to spend a lot, and so yeah, I don't see unless something extraordinary happens. It is true that still PSG. It looks like he's the player, or he's the star for that team. But if someone's dream is to play in Real Madrid, normally, if that happens and Real Madrid wants you, then you normally ends up in a white shirt.
What do you think of the transfer window of Manchester United and uh, Arsenal?
Uh,
Arsenal lost a lot, quite a bit of players,
yeah,
but they
yeah,
did
no,
not
I
have.
saw that and I was thinking, why they've done so. And then it makes sense because they're trying to trim as much as possible and try to loan out some players just to see how they do in a different situation, which makes sense for the players. And it's hard to predict for Arsenal because for a long time there has been mismanagement. But there seems to be a strategy right now, at
Yeah,
least.
there are like a uh, buying and selling strategy so far, but um, well, these two transfer like were shocked. Like Kolasinac went out. He was kind of like an utility players, like coming up in the last 20-30 minutes, and like he was a physical presence there, um, and also might lend uh, lines or
Mhm, mhm,
Rhines. I
mhm,
forgot actually.
mhm.
He moved to Roma. Um, it was quite shocking for a loan also, but yeah, there were this time they did not have players like in the midfield, and there were like 2 or 3 matches cancelled, like the London Derby against Tottenham, which actually is how can I say, under, like it's still under microscope, because there were pandemic situation as well. So, but from the Spurs side, there were like like they, it seems like it's an unfair decision against them.
Again, that's for FA, English FA to decide. And obviously, everyone is entitled to see themselves as a victim. Um, but yeah, coming back to Arsenal's strategy, I mean, for last 3 or 4 window, there seems to be some kind of logic behind. You can say, okay, this is why. Say, for example, I'm not including Aubameyang's situation there. That's one freaking.
Aubameyang actually, he was bought before, like he
No,
was
no, no.
playing.
The fall off.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, so I'm not including that because that's just a freak accident. Um, but if you exclude that, there are really clean, structured way of thinking. You can see a strategy of buying and selling, or even loaning out. But you cannot say same for Manchester United. It's almost equivalent of some of the Barcelona's statement signing and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically their transfer strategy is the same since 1990s, and
Yeah.
they are not in the position to buy top youngsters anymore.
Well, speaking of youngsters and Manchester United, there was a Greenwood incident, and Greenwood incident of abusing, I think, his girlfriend, and
Yeah,
he got banned. Definitely. I mean, probably they were banking on him, and then there is Jordan Sancho was bought a window before, right? Had a lot of expectations, and then I mean,
they let go of Daniel James to Leeds.
yes, and also Anthony Martial just left as well.
Yeah.
So um, I still see they're not reinforcing in the midfield that
Also,
they needed.
yeah. Also, I saw like there were academy players from Manchester United. They went like went on loan. to other clubs, and they did not actually perform well. So like they had to come back to the academy again. There were like two, three incidents like this, and
I think
it,
it
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 will
seems
need
like
a restructuring of a lot of stuff, and I hope Ralph Ragnick is known for a good sporting director. I don't know how much uh, time he has on the bench. I think if he goes up, I think right now he knows a lot of situations in the dressing room that might be important. Um, but he has a lot of work to do
do you think Ronaldo is playing in the next season?
in United.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put it this way. Who else can buy him? PSG?
Yeah, could be, but I don't know. Um,
No, no, I'm throwing up some names. What are the
other
alternatives?
than other than PSG, I don't think anyone.
Yeah. So so where he's gonna go or end up? Is he gonna end up in teams like, say, he's not gonna play for Aston Villa. He's not gonna play for teams like Everton. Or if he
He's
chooses
not
to,
probably going to be in Premier League at all. He's probably going back to Portugal for play for Lisbon.
that that is a sensible move if he does that. But then his wage demands has to go a little way down because
Yeah,
Porto or Lisbon cannot really afford that much of wage on their system, right?
yeah.
Sporting Lisbon. So
So
Ronaldo, yeah, it would be interesting if he goes back.
what else did we miss?
I think we covered almost everything, and it's
uh,
gone almost like two hours.
yeah,
Should we
let's
take a small break or something?
yeah, let's take a small break and
Okay,
uh,
just give me a second.
we'll come back.
So in that sense, we're just pausing, and we'll come back with something else. Just give me